10 interesting facts about the movie Interstellar that you didn't know. #fact. TARS, the eye machine from the movie Interstellar, wasn't CGI. It was a puppet controlled by Bill Irwin and Mark Fischera. 1. TARS, the eye machine in Interstellar, is real. The actual TARS is a huge puppet rather than the intricate air device you saw in the movie. Interestingly, the design of the robot was influenced by lollipop sticks. Bill Irwin was in front of the 200-pound 70 kilograms robot, controlling its motions and providing the character's voice. He left the trickier moves to stuntman Mark Fischera though. 2. The spacesuits that actors wore in Interstellar actually work. The Interstellar costume designer, Mary Zoffres, had a limited amount of time to design the ideal spacesuits. She got to work with her colleagues, experimenting with different materials and designs, finding the right balance between form and function. Zoffres' suits have was important to her. Zoffres' suits have working oxygen systems, just like real spacesuits. As a result, the actors could breathe easily throughout the lengthy shooting days. Don't the suits get hot inside? That is a really good question. In the clothing design, the designer made a note of that. As a result, the Interstellar space suits have cooling tubes that transport water, just like actual spacesuits with all that equipment. The Interstellar spacesuits weigh between 30 and 35 pounds 5 kilograms to 16 kilograms. 3. The movie stays true to science. Interstellar was intended to be as true to science as possible, according to Christopher Nolan. He collaborated on the endeavor alongside Dr. Kip Thorne, the 2017 Nobel Prize laureate in physics. Dr. Thorne defended adhering to science while Nolan insisted on going faster than the speed of light. In the end, Nolan changed his mind and accepted Dr. Thorne's recommendation. Dr. Kip Thorne provided the theoretical equations for the wormhole and black hole simulation in keeping with Christopher Nolan's goal to maintain scientific realism. New CGI software was created by Paul J. Franklin and his double-negative team so that scientific occurrences may be accurately portrayed in the movie. 5. Anne Hathaway almost got hypothermia while shooting on the ice planet. Anne Hathaway's spacesuit leaked freezing water while filming her sequence on the ice planet because the zipper wasn't closed all the way. However, despite telling filmmaker Christopher Nolan she was not granted a vacation, instead, he worked to finish the sequence as soon as possible. Fear not, the excellent actress was alright, and filming the sequence didn't take too long. 6. Steven Spielberg was originally supposed to direct Interstellar. Even though Steven Spielberg has produced a large number of noteworthy films, Interstellar is one of the films he was never able to complete. Steven Spielberg was no longer able to work on the movie because the story fell to Paramount after DreamWorks and that studio's separation. What would Interstellar look like if Steven Spielberg had directed it? Possibly never. The original tale, however, differs from Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. Cooper and Brand's love life would have been examined in Spielberg's Interstellar. Cooper's return to Earth in the year 2230 and encounter with a wasteland would be another noticeable difference. Additionally, because they had been on the ice planet for a longer period of time, the Chinese in Spielberg's Interstellar had a bigger impact. 7. World-renowned composer Hans Zimmer composed the score for Interstellar. Christopher Nolan requested a completely new score, and he received it. Hans Zimmer was requested to create the film's score after he got in touch with him. He didn't give Zimmer anything, though, to rant about. He just handed Zimmer a one-page manuscript outlining the primary concepts of the film. So Zimmer composed the music for Interstellar without having access to a script, title, or specifics of the plot. In the end, the film's emotional core was successfully captured by the score. 8. Timothée Chalamet cried after seeing the movie. When Interstellar originally came out in theaters in 2014, Timothée Chalamet was a relatively unheard of actor. His second feature picture, Endeavor, Interstellar, was intended to advance his professional standing. He was unable to control his tears when he got home, after realizing after the screening that his character's part was considerably smaller than expected. Thankfully, Timothée Chalamet eventually received his big break only a few years later, with parts in Lady Bird, Call Me By Your Name, and Beautiful Boy. His career received the boost it needed. 9. They traveled to various locations around the world to film Interstellar. Although the cast and crew of Interstellar did not fly to space to film the movie, they also did not use a green screen. The director Christopher Nolan didn't want his film to be solely reliant on CGI. In order to get the ideal shots, he traveled with his team all over to the Eldrown lava world. The Eldrown lava field in southern Iceland, Svanfellskul in southern Iceland, Maffabot in southern Iceland, and Alberta, Canada are some of the places where Interstellar was filmed. 10. The interviews at the start of the movie were real, original footage from Ken Burns' 2012 documentary. The Dust Bowl was used by Christopher Nolan. Some of the early Earth sequences in the film were also influenced by the documentary. Regardless of whether you enjoy grand science fiction movies or not, Interstellar is one of those films that just about everybody can enjoy. The film will undoubtedly leave you with a long-lasting impact, from the breathtaking images to the thoroughly researched scientific interpretation. Who knows though, you might even discover a renewed passion for technology and space exploration.